a twisted purl stitch. Now once again it's purled, which means you're going to bring the yarn to the front. Now what you're going to do is I'm just going to do that without the purl first. This is the twisted stitch that I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull this yarn to the front. See that one in the back? That's the one that you're going to use, but you're going to use it in the front. So pull the yarn to the front, insert your hook in that back vertical bar, and yarn over and pull a loop through. Pull the yarn to the front, insert your hook, yarn over and pull a loop through. Now this is a twisted purl. Ordinarily with a regular purl you'd go under the front vertical bar. This one you're twisting it, so you're just bringing the one in the back to the front. Now if you have any of my books, the only book that I've actually used this stitch in is the Tunisian Cables to Crochet. It's the Cables book. I really liked this stitch. Worked either side of the cable. It was very pronounced stitch, so that's where I've used it. I've not used it anywhere else yet. But that is the the twisted purl stitch, and we're just going to go all the way across. Now it gives the same effect as a regular purl, but if you work it in combination with other stitches, it's actually a much fatter fabric. It's just, you can tell, look at, and it curls. It curls the other direction. Instead of curling this way, it curls this way. So if you want something very thick, this would be a stitch to use. Another thing, if you are familiar with double-ended Tunisian crochet, this would make a very thick blanket to be worked in this stitch. I'm going to have to do a video for that because I'm really curious about what that will look like. Now I'm going to do the last stitch normally. That's just to keep it even on each side. And then we're going to chain one, and then pull through 2 loops all the way across. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now I'm going to show you another really interesting thing about this stitch. If you have a problem with your first loop on your hook getting very loopy, if you make your first stitch with, now see how loopy that is? That one's higher than the others. If you have a problem with that and you need to resolve it, one way you can resolve it is by using this stitch. Pull your yarn to the front, insert your hook into the back. Now at this point, tighten it. You can actually make it too tight, and it will stay in that position. And there's the purl. Okay, so let me just show you once again how that's done. This works amazingly well, almost too well if you pull the loop too tightly. Yarn to the front, insert your hook so that you can grasp that back bar and pull it to the front. Now at this point, tighten it, and that will take away any looseness of this stitch at the end. So if you do have a problem with the stitches being too loose, or that one stitch at the very beginning being too loose, if you do your first stitch like this, like I've described, the twisted purl stitch, you will have no problem with that stitch whatsoever. But again, this fabric is going to be very, very thick. It's actually the thickest fabric I've ever seen in Tunisian crochet. So I probably wouldn't want to do an all over repeat of this. I may want to try it though as a double-ended just to see what it's like, because with double-ended you would be working on the front and the back, and I am curious. I think that I would like to see how that would work. So you'll just do that all the way across, and then chain 1 and then yarn over, pull through 2.